Hope everybody's staying spooky today. Okay, so I pulled for myself the nine of stakes or wands reversed. So this one is saying this indicates extreme exhaustion, burnout, feeling overwhelmed by ongoing challenges. It suggests dropping defensive walls, releasing paranoia, and letting go of past grudges or chips on your shoulder. To move forward, this card warns against stubbornness and advises accepting help rather than struggling alone. So, burnout and fatigue, that's for sure. Releasing defenses, stop being paranoid or suspicious of others. I'm working on that. And lingering resentments, holding on to past wounds, a sense of unfairness. Yeah, I'm working on that too. And I am so stubborn. So this card definitely reflects me and what I'm going through right now. And it says the card advises you that while you have been through a lot, it is time to stop acting like a victim of your circumstances and instead rest to regain your strength. Well, I'll take that for sure. Um, yeah, nobody's watching. That's okay. That's okay. So I am working on letting go of past grudges, and I'm on a diet routine, exercise routine, and I'm already burnt out on that. So I got to keep going and don't give up. How's everybody's week going? Not so bad. Today's my best friend's birthday. I gave her a private reading. That's why I'm a little late today for Tarot Tuesday. As you can see, I'm still in my husband's studio. Um, maybe one day in the near future, I'll be back in my studio. So yeah, done. See if we can pull out of the magic book while we're waiting for people. Last week we talked about Ostara, which this Sunday's Easter Sunday. So yeah. So let's do some Ostara correspondence. Um, it says purify your home and scatter eggshells around it for protection. I'm doing that this weekend. Earth focused meditation, go for a walk or look for signs of spring. I definitely want to go to Serpent Mound this weekend because it's supposed to be nice. If you don't know what Serpent Mound is, if you're not from Ohio, definitely look it up. It is amazing, and I live really close to it. Decorate your home with spring flowers, decorate eggs and give them as gifts. So, if you're listening to the similarities of Easter and Ostara, okay, plant seeds for purifying plants such as rosemary. Set up an altar with flowers, eggs, and rabbits. Abundances are amethyst, bloodstone, lapis, and jade. Flowers are violet, tulip, daffodil, rose, jasmine, iris, honeysuckle. You got Odin and Athena, Gaia, and Aphrodite. And foods are cheese, eggs, seeds, nuts, and seasonal harvests like honey. And your incenses you can use are violet, jasmine, rose, frankincense, and sandalwood. So that's interesting. Okay. My favorite holiday is coming up next. It's Beltane, and some people call that May Day. It's where you dance around the maypole and celebrate all that good stuff. So yeah, first quarter, waxing, last quarter, past the moon. Okay. Trying to get to the full moon because that is coming up. Okay. So the full moon is when I put out my Ohio Legends podcast, and it is going to air tomorrow for season 4 premiere. And we're doing an unsolved mystery that is actually its 20th anniversary tomorrow, the disappearance of Brian Schaefer. And I added a new little segment to the podcast where we're going to talk about a strange Ohio news article in every episode, as well as your listener submitted stories that are real scary stories submitted by the listeners. There's a couple of Waverly Hills stories in this month's episode because I'm going to Waverly Hills in May, so I want to know everything about it, what people's personal experiences are, and apparently the parking lot is really haunted when you go to leave. So, who knew, you know? So the full moon happens on days 13 and 15 of every month or every lunar cycle, not every month, it's like a lunar cycle. So yeah, full moon rituals. You can harvest herbs as they are easier to dry at the full moon. Make moon water to drink or use in spells. I love making moon water. Cleanse and charge crystals in the moonlight. I also charge my tarot cards in the moonlight. So if you're watching and you want a reading, just pop up in the live chat and say, Me, I'd like a reading, and I will pull a card for you because I can see there are people watching, but nobody's commenting. So if you don't comment, you don't get a reading. You got to comment and you got to be subscribed to comment. So, also it says make protective amulets on the full moon, charge and cleanse tools under the moonlight, and divination, which tarot readings, pendulum readings, they are divination. Hi, you'd like a reading? Okie dokie. And of course, we are using the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot deck. So, Jess. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. We got the Knight of Swords reversed, which is a court card, and court cards are talking about people. Knight of Swords reversed. And swords are like arguments or stuff, like, you know, they can sever, they can cut ties with people. So swords are kind of one of the sadder things to get in a reading. So this says that the Knight of Swords reverse signifies erratic energy, intellectual arrogance, often leading to a burnout or a conflict. It suggests a need to slow down as impulsive decisions are causing chaotic consequences and miscommunication. This card acts as a warning against acting without advices against aggressive or irrational behavior. So, impulsiveness and haste, rushing into situations without planning, causing missed opportunities, or sometimes it can cause a failure. Aggressive or poor communication, using words as weapons or being excessively blunt, sarcastic, or rude. Now, this, like I said, this is talking about a person. It could be talking about you or someone you know or someone you have yet to encounter. So, burnout and mental chaos. You might be feeling overwhelmed by racing thoughts, scattered focus, and inability to calm down. Destructive behaviors. The intellect is misused, becoming self destructive or harmful to others. In relationships and feelings, the Knight reverse can indicate that someone is overwhelmed and confused and struggling with inner doubts. That leads to erratic behavior. It often signifies defensive actions, pushing people away, or sometimes who is all talk but lacks the commitment to follow through, if that makes sense. So, this asks you to pause and reevaluate. It is a call to take care of your physical body, to combat your mental illnesses, and ensure that your actions are well considered rather than reactive, if that makes sense. So, let's see if we can get into a little bit more in depth on this little book here I got. Hmm. Reversed. So, key meanings, missed opportunities, out of depth, out of control. You feel left behind. Someone might be rude, hurtful, sarcastic, insecure. You might be encountering a bully, like if you have work or school related incidents. It might be actually talking about someone bullying you. Okay. So just go with the flow. My dog's crying. She's going blind in one eye, so she's like having trouble seeing. It's okay. So, general, okay. It can also signify going with the flow and being a sheep or a follower, mindlessly following the crowd. This card also suggests that you or someone around you is acting superior or being a know-it-all or has an complex as it appears. So yeah, this one's for Jess, the first comment. So it sounds like you have been encountering a bully. So definitely stand up to that person and don't take no shit. Okay. Adventures Unseen is the next one, and then we'll get to Glowbug. All right, Adventures Unseen. This shuffle is for you. Okay. Marcia. Oh, lots of court cards today. You got the Knight of Cups. Of Cups. Not reverse, so we'll see what that means. Okay. This card symbolizes romantic idealism, charm, and creativity, an emotional, heart led action. As a messenger, it often brings offers of proposals or invitations, urging you to follow your emotions and pursue your personal bliss with grace. It represents a romantic, artistic, and gentle energy. So the symbolism is the knight holds out a cup offering love and emotions, wears wings on his helmet, shoes, and imagination for swift communication. So this is, if you're familiar with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it is Spike before he became Spike, and he was a romantic person. Definitely a romantic person is what this is talking about. Okay, so in a love reading, it often considers a knight in shining armor. This card indicates a deeply romantic, charming suitor or heartfelt proposal or invitation. It suggests being swept off your feet in a romantic gesture. In financial and careers, it encourages following your heart regarding your career, suggesting creative, artistic, or diplomatic approaches to solve financial disputes or achieve goals. So act on your emotions, embrace your vulnerability, and pursue your creative passions. It advises leading with your heart and using empathy to guide your decisions. So, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. So let's get a little bit more in depth here. Where is my tarot guide? Knight of Cups. Okay. Okay, Marcia. All right. Yeah, news can offer good news, proposals, invitation. The news or offers he brings usually carry with them a lot of excitement. They are the kinds of offers or news we hope to receive. Knight as action takers, as such as the card can be an indication that now is the time to take action and follow your heart, or that you are about to get swept off your feet in a sense. Okay. All right, cool. So it can represent grace under pressure. So you may find yourself acting as a mediator, resolving disputes and conflicts. If representing a person, this is an adult, usually around 20 to 30 years of age, usually a male who is emotional, romantic, caring, gentle, and idealistic. He's warm and a peace lover or a good negotiator. He may be a water sign, such as Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay. So if that makes sense, I'm glad you're here and definitely come back and see if anything changes in your reading. And thank you for being here. Okay, glow bug is next. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Tell your friends. I do this almost every Tuesday. All right. Karmatic connection with glow bug. Hmm. Again, we have a court card. You have a karmatic connection. Okay. So you got the Queen of Cups this week. All of you have court cards. Wow. Not reversed. Queen of Cups. And as always, cups mean emotions. Queens are a little different because these cards represent people. Any kind of court card you get, like king, queen, knight, prince, they are talking about a person. It could be talking about a person you know, could be talking about you or someone you haven't even encountered yet. So let's see what this queenie has to say. Okay, a mature, emotional female, loving, warm, kindness, happiness, intuition, faithful, also shy, easily wounded, pretty, beauty, daydreamer, psychic, empath, inspirational healer, listener, counselor, caring, supportive, and good mother. Ooh, this one's lengthy. All right, so this card generally signifies a woman or woman in your life who will be supportive and caring towards you. This card is also a sign that you should be mindful of how you treat yourself and others to treat people with compassion and sympathy. She can also indicate that you may be more sensitive than you let on to the outside world, and the harsh actions or hurtful comments affect you more than you show to the outside world. This card can also indicate a tendency to daydream, a big imagination. As a person, the Queen of Cups represents a mature female or female person who is kind, caring, and supportive. This queen is a sentimental, sensitive soul, a good listener. She is empathetic to the feelings of others as a mother, a partner, or a friend. The queen is affectionate, loving, and warm. However, she can also be shy and have a tendency to daydream. She is creative, artistic, and intuitive, and she appreciates beauty, not just, physical beauty, but the beauty of the world. She may be a water sign such as Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It could be you. Definitely, it could be you. So we're going down to spirituality because you're talking about karmic lessons. Um, this indicates a strong intuition or psychic abilities. If you are seeking to develop your psychic abilities, this card is a great omen to get as she indicates a big increase in psychic powers. She can also indicate that an intuitive female will help you on your spiritual path. That's interesting. Let's see here if I can get any more in depth with it. Queen of Cups. All right, let's see. All right, so it represents deep emotional intelligence, intuition, and compassion, often appearing navigating through karmic relationships with empathy. As a karmic figure, she embodies loving, nurturing, and psychic energy, suggesting a need to trust inner wisdom to resolve emotional debts. Okay, so emotional maturity. She represents a karmic lesson in balance, deep emotional sensitivity with self care, ensuring one does not become lost in another person's chaos. Hmm. Hmm. Are you on like a cusp of like either Pisces or was it next Taurus? Like the cusp would be like right before. That is interesting that she's saying that trust your intuition to guide you through profound emotional experiences. So, a karmic leader or a need to trust your intuition. That's interesting because last week your reading was kind of a downer, wasn't it? Okay, happy belated birthday, by the way. So, you are close to the cusp of Pisces. That's interesting. So, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, let me read that again. As a karmic figure, she embodies loving, nurturing, and psychic energy, suggesting a need to trust inner wisdom to resolve emotional debts. She represents a karmic lesson in balancing deep emotional sensitivity with self care, ensuring one does not become lost in another person's emotional chaos. I think that is the message right there, Glowbug. Okay, it's not reversed. So at the bottom of the page, it says advice. When this Queen of Cups appears, you are urged to look within for answers, practicing self compassion and use your empathy to navigate emotional situations with grace. So it's talking about, your psychic powers could be developing. So the answers you're seeking are within you. That's what this card's saying. Definitely. Wow, that was good. From last week to this week, your card totally changed. Oh, your past life had issues too? Dang. That's it then. That's the karmic lesson? That's wild. I'm gonna have to look into past life readings. That sounds interesting. All right, guys. Hey, we made it 20 minutes. Shout out to my friend Candy on her birthday today. I'll see you later at work. And thank all of you for being here today on Tarot Tuesday. And yeah, check out the podcast. It drops on the full moon tomorrow. It's our season 4 premiere. And we have home investigation videos coming out for the spooky content I put out every week. And as always, my friends, stay spooky.